to the enduring alliance between the United States and Italy.
That we're holding our first official state visit with the leader of America's oldest ally.
I intend to rebuild and reestablish our alliance, starting with NATO.
President Biden has promised to rebuild American alliances and work with partners to tackle pressing challenges like COVID-19, climate change, and the threat posed by China. But why does America care so deeply about alliances? Does America even need alliances to tackle these challenges? First, let's take a step back to define the word ally. The term is thrown around a lot, but it actually has a pretty specific definition. An American ally is a country or group of countries that the United States has a formal commitment with to respond together to armed attacks. One of America's most important and well-known alliances is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, which was formed after World War II. If there's no official treaty commitment between the United States and another country, the U.S. isn't obligated to defend that country, even a close partner like Israel. In Europe, that's what makes a non-NATO country like Ukraine different from NATO members like Poland and Estonia. Yes, the United States supports Ukraine, but it isn't formally committed to defend it. What does America get out of these arrangements? Put simply, the past 70 years of American international leadership would not have been possible without the support of U.S. allies. On a daily basis, the U.S. and its allies share intelligence, train and exercise alongside each other, and operate common weapons systems, creating combined capabilities that far exceed any force the U.S. could wield on its own. America's allies have fought alongside the United States in every significant military conflict since World War II. America's allies also provide support for U.S. political priorities, such as sanctioning Iran and North Korea's illicit weapons programs. Allies such as Japan are working together with the U.S. to advance fair and transparent international standards on issues such as digital governance and cybersecurity. Within the G7, U.S. allies have coordinated to address issues ranging from the global refugee crises to international health standards. During the Trump administration, and even before then, there was a lot of discourse about whether or not American allies pay their fair share. Let's discuss that for a moment. It's true that in general, the U.S. has spent a higher proportion of GDP on defense than many allies. In the past decade, however, renewed concerns about Chinese and Russian aggression, as well as calls from both the Obama and Trump administrations for greater allied defense spending, have led many U.S. allies to increase their defense spending. Another focus of burden-sharing discussions has been the cost of maintaining U.S. forces overseas. The largest concentration of U.S. troops are now in Japan, Germany, and the Republic of Korea. What is important to keep in mind is that America does not deploy its forces as mercenaries for hire, simply to defend the territory of U.S. allies. America's global defense network allows it to quickly and effectively address a range of challenges, including protecting American citizens, deterring violent extremism, and preventing countries like North Korea and Iran from trafficking illicit weapons. Allies also contribute to the cost of U.S. facilities, both directly and indirectly, through cash payments, in-kind payments, such as tax and fee waivers, covering construction costs for U.S. housing and training facilities, and the rent-free provision of valuable real estate to U.S. forces. America's allies are indispensable. Alliances are about more than just defense relationships and burden sharing. America's allies share a common vision of a world in which democracy, the rule of law, and the protection of human rights prevail. This shared commitment is a huge advantage in the competition with Russia and China, countries that don't have the same kind of alliance network the U.S. enjoys. Maintaining strong alliances is to the advantage of America and the world.